Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are going to break down the entire life cycle of a successful YouTube video. We're turning what feels like a big mystery into a simple, step-by-step playbook that you can actually use. So, what if I told you the secret to YouTube growth isn't some single magical trick? What if it's really just a series of small, smart steps taken in the right order? Well, today, we're mapping out that exact life cycle from that first spark of an idea all the way to long-term success. All right, let's start at the very beginning with the foundation. See, everything you do before you even think about uploading your video is what sets the stage. This is where you win the game before it even starts. Look, forget about the fancy cameras, the expensive microphones, all that stuff for a minute. The single most important, most powerful thing you have is the idea. A brilliant idea can make a shaky video a hit, but the best production quality in the world can't save a boring concept. It all starts here. So how do you keep coming up with great ideas? Well, the pros don't just hope for inspiration. They build their whole channel on what are called content pillars, usually 3 to 5 of them. Think of these as your main themes. They keep you focused, and more importantly, they tell your audience exactly what your channel is about, which makes hitting that subscribe button a no-brainer for them. Now, your thumbnail, it's like the movie poster for your video, and you've got about 1 second to convince someone to click on it. The formula that works is actually pretty simple. Make it clean and simple, use high contrast so it pops, use big, readable text, and if you can, show some emotion. That's what earns the click. Okay, this right here is a total game changer, and it's what separates the beginners from the pros. Make your thumbnail before you make your video. Why? Because it forces you to figure out the single most exciting promise of your content. If you can't design a thumbnail that makes you want to click, your video idea probably isn't strong enough to begin with. You know, most people think search engine optimization, or SEO, starts after you upload a video, but they're wrong. Your very first chance to tell the YouTube algorithm what your video is about happens on your own computer, before you even open your web browser. It is literally this simple. Instead of calling your video file final_video_edit.mp4, rename it to something like howtogroworchidsindoors.mp4. Think of it like putting a clear label on a folder before you put it into a giant filing cabinet. You're just giving the algorithm a little head start. It takes 2 seconds, and it really does help. Okay, so your video is finally done. The temptation is to just slam that publish button right away, isn't it? But hold on. The smartest creators know that the next step is to wait. This isn't wasted time. It's actually one of the most strategic moves you can make. So here's the pro move. You upload your video, but you set it to private. And then you let it sit for a full 24 to 48 hours. I know, it feels totally counterintuitive, but this one simple act of patience can make a huge difference in your video's reach when you finally launch it. Let's dig into why. So what's actually happening behind the scenes during this waiting period? Why is this delay so powerful, especially if you have a newer channel? It all comes down to giving YouTube's AI a chance to really do its job properly. During those private hours, YouTube's algorithm is basically watching your video. It's scanning the visuals, it's transcribing all the audio, and it's figuring out the context. For a new channel, this is absolutely crucial. It allows the algorithm to build trust in your content before it shows it to a single person. That seriously boosts your chances of getting recommended when you launch. And while YouTube's AI is busy working, you can put your own AI to work. This is such a great hack. Just take your video's transcript, pop it into a tool like ChatGPT, and ask it to write you an SEO-optimized description. It'll pull out the key phrases and give the algorithm even more context to help you find the right audience. All right, the waiting is over, your description is perfect, and now you're ready. The moment you hit public, a clock starts ticking. That first hour is your golden window. It's your chance to send a ton of positive signals to the algorithm and build some serious momentum. The second your video is live, your entire focus should be on the comment section. You really have 2 jobs here. First, get people talking. That early burst of activity is a massive signal to YouTube. And second, pin your own comment. This is your chance to control the conversation, drive people to an important link, or just ask a question that gets everyone chatting. This quote from Shane Hummus just nails it. The goal isn't just to get comments. It's to create an event. You want to turn your comment section into a social hour. That's what transforms people from just passive viewers into a real, active community. And here's the playbook for how to do it. For that first hour, Be in there. Respond to comments, give them a heart, ask follow-up questions. Remember, these aren't just little polite things to do. They are strategic moves. Every single interaction is another positive signal to the algorithm that your video is making a real connection with people.
So you made it through the launch hour. Great job. But the work isn't over. A truly successful video doesn't just get a bunch of views and then disappear. No, it acts as a gateway, inviting viewers to stick around, explore the rest of your channel, and hopefully become a loyal subscriber.
One of the most underrated tools for long-term growth is the simple playlist. I mean, just look at this difference. A viewer might watch one video for 10 minutes, but if that video is in a playlist, it can easily turn into a 45-minute binge session. It's probably the easiest way to multiply your channel's watch time. And of course, there is consistency. When you publish on a regular schedule, especially when built around those content pillars we talked about, you're basically training your audience to come back. They know what to expect from you and when to expect it. That kind of reliability builds so much trust, and it signals to the algorithm that you are a serious creator.
Okay, we've covered the whole playbook of what you should be doing. But a lot of success is just about avoiding the big mistakes. So let's wrap up with a couple of critical missteps that can stop your channel's growth cold.
First up, the description box. The golden rule here is to write for humans, not for robots. That old trick of keyword stuffing where you just paste a huge list of search terms, yeah, that's a surefire way to get penalized by the algorithm now. Just write a helpful, natural summary that actually provides value to the reader. And please, be so careful with this next setting. Unless your video is specifically and exclusively made for young children, do not check the Made for Kids box. It might seem harmless, but what it does is disable comments, it limits your ads, and it severely restricts how your video gets recommended. It can absolutely kill your video's growth. So there you have it. Growing on YouTube isn't about winning the lottery. It's a recipe. It's a series of deliberate, repeatable steps that anyone can follow. And now that you know the whole process, the real question is, which one of these steps are you going to focus on improving for your very next video? Because that, right there, is where the real growth begins.